Hi, I'm Jeffrey, and this is Life with a Pipe. Thanks for joining me again today. I have another tasting lined up for us. I started a new home pressing of Haunted Bookshop last weekend. All right, let's press some more Haunted Bookshop. I opened this tin, put it in this jar. There is 1.11 ounces left. So we're going to pack this all in the spaghetti press. We're going to let it sit for a week or two and come back and enjoy this again. I did a mini pressing of this recently. If you haven't seen that, I'll link that video in the bucket. And I want to do more. I really enjoyed it. I want to test a larger pressing, see if the experience is similar. I love Haunted Bookshop loose. I enjoy the pressing as well. I was not impressed with the Haunted Bookshop crumble cake that they sell. It tasted just like the loose. It's not pressed with much pressure at all, or maybe even for much of a duration. I'm not sure why they even bother if they're not going to modify it in some way, the taste, the experience in some way. They just have a way of charging you twice as much for the Haunted Bookshop that you would buy loose in bulk. So you can buy it loose bulk yourself, invest in a mini press for $15, make your own cakes, give it a week in the press. You won't be disappointed. It's a very nice experience. So here we go. First, we need to add some wax paper at the bottom. A canning funnel is very helpful for this process. Had a little spillover. This is why I keep the paper here. You put a crease in it and it acts as a great funnel for extra bits. There we go. So I could easily fit more in here, but that's what I have open at the moment. I do have several more ounces. I think 4 more ounces loose, packed up, but it's tucked away. I'm not going to bother opening it right now. This will be a very sufficient cake to continue experimenting with this thought process. So more wax paper. Okay, there we go. We're gonna let this sit for a week or two. We'll see how this goes. We are right around the Thanksgiving holiday, so we'll see how time allows for this to sit. It's been about 8 days, and I'm going to open that up. I did a larger spaghetti pressing this time rather than the mini pressing that I did last time. I wanted to make sure that the larger spaghetti pressing had a similar result to the mini pressing. So just taking that experiment to the next level. Also, I have since acquired some Haunted Bookshop cake that C&D manufactures and sells. Back in my original pressing, I had asked if anybody would be willing to trade with me some Haunted Bookshop cake for some loose or a home pressing that I had made. And I had a taker. Thank you to Mike Reese for contributing the Haunted Bookshop cake so that I could compare that with the loose versus a home pressed cake. The The C&D cake, as you'll see, is quite loose. Any cake is going to loosen up, but I've smoked them side by side before off camera, and it's really hard to tell a difference. But last time with the mini pressing, there was a noticeable difference. I don't know how much pressure or time C&D uses when making their cake, but we're going to do a proper side-by-side tasting of all three. We have a home-pressed cake, we have the C&D cake, and we have some fresh, loose, bulk C&D that I just opened yesterday and put in a jar. Join me while I open the press. All right, so we have a new pressing of Haunted Bookshop that's been in the press for a little over a week. We have some new bulk purchased Haunted Bookshop, and we have some Haunted Bookshop cake that Mike Reese traded with me a couple months back. I did a box opening and showed you that. He saw my first Haunted Bookshop video where I did a mini pressing, and he offered to share with me some Haunted Bookshop cake, and in exchange, well, in the process, we traded a bunch of other stuff as well. So a big thanks out to Mike Reese again. Thank you, Mike. I want to do a proper 3-pipe tasting here. I want to just confirm my thoughts about the Haunted Bookshop pressing versus the Haunted Bookshop cake versus the loose Haunted Bookshop, and hopefully come to a true determination as to which of these is my preferred, or, you know, are they really different enough that they can stand on their own. So let's go ahead and open up this press. We'll pack some pipes and then we'll smoke them. All right, so first things first, let's release some pressure here. Now, big trick with these, there's a sleeve. You gotta keep a fingernail there to hold it in place while you push this out. Otherwise, it will come out with the plug, with the cake. There we go. So if I remember correctly, this was 1.11 ounces. And so that's a good 3/4 of an inch thick. That is a nice looking cake. Let's go ahead and cut some of this off. They're very dense when they come right out of the plug, right out of the press. If I let this sit in a jar for, you know, a week or so, they expand out quite a bit and loosen up where you can properly just, you know, with your fingers rub it out. You can cut it if you want. Let's see how this looks here. Yeah, that should be plenty for a bowl. So I'm going to smoke the pressing in a flat bottom Edwards estate pipe. You've seen me use this quite a bit lately. Great pipe. It's been a while since I smoked the Haunted Bookshop pressing. I have not rewatched that video to refresh my memory as to what I thought of it. But as a general rule, in my experience with these pressings, is that it brings out a sweetness that is not detectable when you're smoking the regular. All right, so there's the pressing. Let's do the crumble cake next. So again, just gonna cut a little bit off here, enough for a bowl. See how much more spongy that is? That is a true crumble cake. Coming from Cornell and Diehl, they're not pressed with a whole lot of pressure, or at least they're not pressed for very long. They're pretty loose, and I can't remember if I've smoked this on camera yet or not. I feel like I have. but I may have just done it in private and talked with Mike about it. We're going to do another Edwards Estate pipe here. This is a rounded bottom versus the flat bottom. So these rub out quite nice. They get quite fluffy. I really didn't need to cut that much off, but that's all right. So you get some thicker chunks with a nice cake. It extends the burning time because they're thicker. They don't burn up as hot. But if you don't rub them out enough, it can also cause problems with uneven burning as well. So you gotta take the good with the bad. There we go. Here is the crumble cake. And this was just placed in the jar yesterday. This is some new bulk loose Haunted Bookshop going in another Edwards Estate pipe. I choose these 3 pipes for a lot of tastings because the chambers are of similar depth and diameter. So it creates a very similar smoking experience among them. Obviously, this being a much thinner walled pipe, I don't smoke a whole lot of Virginias in it because it can get pretty hot. But it is great for Englishes and burley blends that smoke cooler. Okay, there we are. Okay, there we are. We have the 3 pipes ready to go. Let's smoke them. Welcome back. Are you ready for this? I know I am. I'm excited to get to this. So we're gonna start with the loose. We'll go to the C&D cake, and then we'll do the home pressed cake last and see if we can't notice a difference. Let's start by resetting the palate with a little black medium roast coffee. That way the palate's set for each of these different experiments. We'll cleanse the palate between each. So we have an Edwards Estate pipe with the loose Haunted Bookshop. Let's go ahead and light it up. This is such a great burley Perique blend. Easily a great all-day smoke. Might be a little strong if you're a beginner. But definitely something you can enjoy a bowl of in the evenings. This does have a bit of a nick hit to it, so be sure you've eaten a meal. Just the earthy, burly, a little nutty. The Perique brings in a dry fruit note without the sweetness. So imagine dry fruit without the sweetness. This is a very earthy smoke. It's a classic, guys, for a reason. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but it is a great burley smoke. Okay, let's see if the C&D cake that they sell for easily twice as much as the bulk loose. The bulk loose, you can even knock that price down if you buy it in large quantities. But the cake comes in a 2-ounce block in a tin. So that price is set unless you can buy it on sale. But it is easily twice as much as the loose. So let's see if making your own home cake can save you a little money. The press is going to cost you about $15 off Amazon. You buy your Haunted Bookshop in bulk, make a cake, give it a week, and then enjoy. But let's see. So, Edwards Estate Pipe, round bottom. This is the cake. Let's see if we can tell the difference. Oh, let's reset the palette. I love seeing the leaf expand up to meet the flame. So I will say that this is a little more nuanced. I don't know if that's because it has more age on it, or if it's the pressing that they did with it. But you got the burley, you got the perique. Again, it's not a sweet dried fruit from the perique, but it's definitely a dried fruit note there along the plum edge of dried fruit. It's a little smoother. The edges aren't quite as rough as the loose, but the flavor profile is largely the same. So if you don't mind a slightly rough burley, is it worth the extra money? I don't think so. It is good though. It is good. Okay, let's get to the home cake. Let's reset the palette first. Edwards Estate Pipe, flat bottom, half rusticated, half smooth. Great smoking pipe. Let's go ahead and light her up. So there's just a sweetness there that isn't there in the others with the home pressing. And for some reason, I always get this extra sweetness from the home pressing. It's very nice. Or at least it's what my palate detects as sweetness. The burley is earthy and nutty. But if there's any Virginia in this, I'm wondering if that's what's being lifted in the smoke. Okay, I'm going to go back to the loose and compare it to this and see if I can't tease out any more differences there. Just a little rougher around the edges. Just great burley with perique. If you like this and you have not yet tried Old Joe Krantz, I highly recommend it. Old Joe Krantz takes the strength up a notch. It is definitely not an all-day smoke for most people. It's quite strong. I believe that has more perique than this. Okay, let's go back. It's all still there, but there's just that little extra sweet tone to it. It's so interesting. If you have a spaghetti press at home, this is definitely one worth trying to see your thoughts. Which version of these do you prefer? I like them both for different reasons. If you're an aromatic smoker, but you also enjoy a straight burley blend with some perique, You might dig the pressed version. It has a little lifted sweetness to it. It might appeal to you a little more. Also, if you love Haunted Bookshop and you just want something a little different, but not too different, a little pressing will go a long way. Got it jarred up here in an 8-ounce jar. I ran out of the little 4-ounce jelly jars. That's really all this cake would have needed. But I'm going to let this sit and marry for a little while and continue enjoying this. So I imagine I'm coming to the same determination that I made when I was just comparing the home pressing to the loose, is that the pressing gives it a slightly different sweetness that's not there in the loose. And it's nice, it's enjoyable. The Haunted Bookshop cake brings a smoothness to it that the loose doesn't have, but the flavor profile is not different. It's just the sensation on your palate is slightly different. You can tell that it's been aged. And that's really what pressing does to a degree, is that it simulates or expedites the aging process. Just forcing the leaf to break down a little bit, allowing certain components to shine that wouldn't be in a younger version. But I think the spaghetti press is pressing at a higher pressure, probably for longer, because C&D is a commercial adventure, right? So the less time in the press, the better. They can move through product faster, get it on the shelves. I have no idea what their process is. That's just, the nature of the beast, I guess. They have limited numbers of presses, and they have a lot of product to create, so. Something worth doing on your own. Thank you for joining me for this experiment. Really enjoyable. I love doing these pressings and these tastings. I hope you're enjoying watching them with me. I love your comments, guys. Interacting with you all has been a pleasure this year. Really the highlight of my year. My only regret is not starting sooner, but I'm glad that I did. Looking forward to the holidays right around the corner here. Happy early Merry Christmas to you all, and Happy New Year as well. Remember, life with a pipe is better than without. Bye for now.